Imagine getting a shovel in a game that can mine literally anything and lets you build whatever your pixel-loving heart desires. Sounds like a dream, right? Especially if you're into Minecraft. Well, our virgin loser MC hits the jackpot. Not only does he get that god-tier shovel, he also ends up with this unhinged game developer who's dead set on turning him into the strongest player alive. Watch him build chairs, houses, catapults, and yes, even a freaking mecha castle. And here's a spicy little spoiler. That freaky dev? She kisses him. Yep, first base achieved, boys. Oh, and if that's not enough chaos for you, we've also got 2 more overpowered manhwa protagonists showing up in this episode. So buckle up. If you're down for some wild crafting, chaos, and maybe a little romance, smash that like button and subscribe. Today's like goal is 800. The title of this amazing manhwa is Shovel. Comment bonkers if you want, part 2. Enjoy. The story opened with Chrono Life being highlighted. It's the best virtual reality game. And it has a new trending continent, the Another World. Someone logged in on the game, and this player is being connected to another world for the first time. And the player was welcomed with 100 million new users. These players are going to meet the best companions and conquer dungeons and bosses. It's a new adventure that awaits the player. A notification window popped out stating that a new character has been created. The game opened in a vast nature scene. A shovel was lifted. And there he is, the main protagonist of this story, and right now he's just a level 1 player. His name is King Jiseok. Upon arriving, all he could think was, "So, this is the new continent called Another World." He looked serious, but his expression turned sour immediately. He was confused as to why no one's there. The game advertised that there are 100 million new users, and he's confused as to why he's holding a shovel. He wondered if it meant that he's supposed to dig. He complained that when a new character enters, the character should at least be given a wooden club or something. He kept on digging the ground. He was surprised. The part that he's digging was in a perfect square, and it was lifted into the air. His jaw dropped as soon as he saw that. The square soil landed beside the square hole. Jiseok looked at it. He had a meme face as he wondered if he started the wrong game. This dude thought he was playing freaking Minecraft. He was cautious with this square soil. He let the tip of the shovel poke the side of the square soil. Suddenly, it went poof! Jiseok was notified that he acquired a material called dirt. He was surprised to see it in his inventory. He pondered about it and went to test if it could work with other things too. He made his way to a tree. His shovel touched its trunk, and a portion of the trunk was gone. Jiseok was notified that he acquired 1 wood. Then he was informed that craftable items are available. He was prompted to craft a wooden chair. Jiseok realized that he can make a chair with just 1 click. He clicked yes. Suddenly, an orb of light appeared. A chair was being made up as the pixels came together. Jiseok was eventually informed that the wooden chair was complete. He couldn't believe it. He sat on it. Jiseok was amazed. His fun immediately died down, and he was left frozen in his seat. Few moments passed. He realized it was so lonely. What the actual fuck? He wondered if it's really Chrono Life. He's expecting it to be an RPG where he would have to kill monsters and level up. Suddenly, a notification window appeared and informed him that his skill level has increased. With that, he can now create more items. He slouched on his seat and lazily scrolled through the system screen. There was a list of available creations like wooden chairs, wooden club, wooden sword. He had learned that the wooden chair that he just made was part of the craft skill. He scrolled more items. The siege catapult caught his attention. He was surprised to find out that he can make stuff like that too. Then he saw something which he got excited about. Few moments later, he started building. He looked worn out, but he's done. This guy had just completed his house. It's a log cabin that used 50 wood, 10 rocks, and 30 dirt. At this point, I'm completely convinced that this is literally Minecraft. Jiseok was enjoying himself. He even had tears and sweats of joy at the same time. He commented that the interior is a bit rough, but it's still pretty good for a first try. He decided to lay down for a bit on the wooden bed. It cost 5 woods to be created. Our boy thought that this is how one should relax, as it was really cozy. He felt that it was more comfortable than his real house. Jiseok knew that it's obvious. In real life, his house was in an old building. His living conditions aren't good. His furniture at home is old. But this didn't hinder him from his dreams. He kept studying. In his little tiny room. Back in the game, our MC stares at his shovel. He was thinking that in the game, a 100 pyong house and a 2-story house with a yard can be built by his own hands. He actually liked another world. Out of the blue, a growling bear appeared on his door. This is called a lion bear. It is extremely ferocious. Its danger rank is A. Jiseok immediately got up. He exclaimed, What's this monster?" Then, the bear growled loudly. It suddenly attacked Jiseok. He was able to evade, but his bed got destroyed. It made Jiseok angry. He twirled his shovel and got ready to fight. He threatened the lion bear that it will meet its ends. Jiseok questioned the lion bear on who it is for it to destroy his household. He vowed to crush that lion bear, but before he could utter another word, the lion bear's paw hit our MC's face. And just like Team Rocket, Jiseok was blasted out of his house. He crashed on the ground, and his nose bled. His soul left his body. The notification window displayed that his character died, and with that, he also lost some experience but will still be revived in a safe area. He logged back in the game. Jiseok realized how weak he is. He noticed his house was no longer there. Then he saw the rubble. Then reality sank in. He yelled, "No!" He cursed at the bear. Looks like killing Jiseok wasn't enough. It had also destroyed Jiseok's hard-earned house. Jiseok had a romanticized memory with his house, all the hours that he spent building it. He tried to hold it all in, but he failed. Then he wondered if it would come back. Jiseok was in rage. He decided to take his revenge. A few hours later, the lion bear walks by. It noticed that there's a new house again, and with a smug look on its face, it laughed and got excited. He rushed towards it. And there he goes, lion bear wrecking the walls again. But its devilish smile vanished immediately and started raising its hand up high as soon as it saw what's inside. The inside was filled with spiky traps and a cannon. Jiseok said, "Welcome to my house." Then Jiseok uttered one word, "Bitch!" Then he pulled the trigger. It fired rapidly on the lion bear. The lion bear growled loudly. It charges towards Jiseok. Jiseok acknowledged its guts. But he's prepared. He had made the siege catapult. The rock landed directly at the lion bear. The lion bear shrieked, and it was dragged on the ground. Jiseok tiptoed around it, worried that it might come back to life. His shovel touched the lion bear's body. He acquired 1 bear meat, 2 lion bear hides, and 5 lion bear bones. Jiseok was surprised. Then the list of craft creations showed up. He can now make a lion bear helmet and lion bear armor. Jiseok then learned that defeating mobs gives him materials. He wondered if he should go hunting or something. Unbeknownst to him, some monsters are lurking around. A shadow hovers over Jiseok, because behind him are several gigantic monsters. These guys really look like some endgame boss monsters. Our MC was surprised. He didn't even notice them approaching earlier. All of the monsters had this intimidating look on their faces, and they stared at Jiseok intensely. He was trembling as he complained that the quantity of monsters was cheating. One monster roared loudly. It had a wide mouth and sharp teeth. With that, Jiseok's character had died. It was his second death. Then the 4th happened. It repeated until the 12th time. It went on until the 49th time. Until eventually, it was his 108th day of death. A question arose in Jiseok's mind. He understands that the monsters want to kill him, but it's a puzzle as to why they kept destroying a perfectly good house. He heard a loud monster sound. Every time, he just had to rebuild his house. It made Jiseok think that they were doing it on purpose. He's now annoyed. But he was determined not to quit over something trivial. He charges at the monster while thinking, "Go ahead, try killing me again." This guy was complacent since he knew that he would just revive again. Eventually, he reached the 999th revival. A monster came, more like several monsters lined up. Their target is this large castle that already looked like a city. Jiseok saw those monsters from the highest tower. He sat on the throne and uttered, "What, you came alone?" and challenged the monsters to bring in their boss, and he will let them off easily. Then, a huge flying monster appeared. It opened its wide mouth, ready to attack our MC, but it was instantly killed by a laser beam. Jiseok reminded the monsters that they had been warned, and yet they started it again. He challenged them to come in, given that those monsters are still standing there. He taunted them to kill him. The walls of the castle are all equipped with numerous cannons. The monsters watched it. They were now hesitant to charge forward. Jiseok assumed that they might be scared. The monster got pissed off, and then they took the fricking bait. They charged all at once. But before they can come close, the cannons and laser beams hit them. Several cannons were fired all at the same time. It was like a tower defense game, and because of their overwhelming numbers, some of them made it and tried to break in the wall. He praised them for it, because then they just triggered an explosion. He encouraged them to give more effort as his fortress withstood the attack and released flames. And among the pile of monster corpses, a small monster could be seen scared. It stepped backwards and bumped into another monster. It was a large, long-neck monster. It called the small monster pathetic for turning its back with the enemy in front of it. This is another world boss monster, Granturus. Danger rank is GOAT. It was really freaking huge. Granturus stomped its foot and ended the small monster's life. Our MC then greeted Granturus. He was determined that this time he'll stop it. Granturus called Jiseok pitiful because no matter how much he struggles, it would be meaningless against Granturus. And no matter how tall and grand his build is, Granturus' breath cannot be stopped by anything. It released a dragon's fire beam from his breath. Is that so? Jiseok sounded confident that it made Granturus confused. Jiseok repeated what Granturus said, that the fortress is meaningless before Granturus regardless of how tall and grand the fortress is. A gigantic metal foot then started to emerge from the ground. Jiseok replied that there's something that Granturus haven't met. A whole humongous metallic golem creature appeared. The gigantic fortress a while ago looked like nothing as it just stands on the top of this thing's head. Granturus' jaw dropped as he looked at the thing. He knew he fucked up. The metallic golem raised its hand, and a few seconds later, it was about to hit Granturus. This dinosaur monster could only think, it's freaking huge. Then this creature crushed Granturus with its fist. That one punch made a large area of the ground shatter. The creature was so tall and powerful that the impact of its attack lasted long. Eventually, the dust settles. Granturus had a dent on its stomach. Meanwhile, Jiseok stood with pride on the shoulder of the gigantic creature. Then he stepped down and approached Granturus. Jiseok finally won. He then touched the monster using the shovel. Granturus now became a material. He received 10 Granturus hide, 1 Granturus eye, 2 Granturus claw, 3 Granturus scale, 1 Granturus heart, 1 Granturus breath powder, and 6 Granturus blood. He acquired a title, and his fame spread across another world. Jiseok said that it's all over. His title of the ruler of another world has changed to Granturus King Jiseok. He was notified that the creatures of another world dare not oppose him. Our boy raised his shovel, as he knows it's just the beginning of another world. He has a ruler privilege, which is to manage everything in another world. With a wide grin on his face, Jiseok thought that now he can do anything he freaking wants in another setting. Someone claimed that Lord Granturus has been defeated. They couldn't believe it, but they also couldn't deny that the system announced it, that the master of another world has changed. One of the monsters talking is Granturus Army Elite Officer, 7th Legion Commander. It expressed its disbelief since he saw their Lord Granturus as invincible. It decided to send an investigation team to fact-check. But a phoenix-like monster argued that it was an unnecessary stop, as their said system is accurate. It then suggested for them to prepare for war. It wanted revenge for Lord Granturus. Another monster commanded to mobilize all available forces. One monster suggested to prepare as thoroughly as possible and leave tomorrow. But the other monster told him that they will leave right there and then. Suddenly, they felt some vibrations. They recognized that it was Gran Turismo's footsteps. They were relieved to see him safe. The Legion commander Doro expressed that they wanted to go for revenge and were just talking about advancing. In Gran Turis's head, he called this creature a bastard. "Everyone's gathered here," Gran Turis asked. But the monster immediately got confused. "So it's you guys?" Doro noticed that Gran Turis was acting strange. Gran Turis continued his sentence that it's those creatures who constantly kill and torment him. The voice that they were hearing was from none other than our MC. Then Gran Turis' real voice was heard and begged to be killed. Jiseok got out of this mechanical Gran Turis. Jiseok was in rage since the things he made and built were destroyed by those guys, and he told them that they should suffer too. The cannons in the mechanical Gran Turis's body came out. The monsters got scared. Doro negotiated to talk first, but Jiseok was already annoyed. "Shut up!" Jiseok released the Mecha beam. Few seconds later, the monster's den was left with ashes. Jiseok puts down his shovel. Doro of Loyalty, the 7th Legion Army elite officer, became small and meek. He looked harmless now. He asked Jiseok, who is digging up the crystals, if he's tired. He suggested digging for him. Jiseok told him to forget it. Our boy was back at his Minecraft routine again. Jiseok asked Doro how he survived. He noticed that Doro became smaller. Doro explained that he can regenerate as long as part of his body remains, though he became smaller and weaker. Jiseok uttered that killing Doro now would be easy. Doro begged him to spare his life. Jiseok saw a lot of special minerals in the area, as he was expecting. It made him ask Doro. Doro was ready to answer anything. He asked why those guys kept trying to kill him like that. Doro apologized. Jiseok wanted to know the answer and not an apology. Doro shared that one day, the creator came and gave revelation to Gran Turis, who was the master of another world. They were tasked to eliminate King Jiseok. After delivering those words, the master disappeared. Jiseok asked why they would pick a fight with a mere user. Doro had no idea either. Doro sarcastically asked, "Would a bee in a hive know the beekeeper's mind?" Jiseok got annoyed with it and threatened to kill him. Jiseok asked if there's a way for him to meet the creator. Doro had no idea. But then, this monster also had a question for Jiseok too. Doro asked him what he's been doing since earlier. Jiseok is standing at a tall single square. He replied that he's building a tower. Doro asked why. Jiseok replied that there's something that he wanted to try. He pointed above and stated that he wants to try going there. Doro was confused, so he asked where. Jiseok was talking about the moon. Doro was surprised. Jiseok replied that it sounded fun. Doro got feisty upon hearing this nonsense. He yapped about factors making it impossible. Jiseok corrected him, saying that going to the moon isn't about that stuff. Jiseok simply stated that they go to the moon because it's there. He claims that it's romance. And since it's a game, he knew that it would work out somehow. Doro's jaw dropped, but not in amazement. He realized that Jiseok is an idiot. He knew they were doomed, since someone like him has become the master of another world. Doro thought that there was no choice but to pretend to serve him as his servant. And when the opportunity arises, Doro plans to eliminate Jiseok. The moon glowed brightly. Even at night, Jiseok kept going. Doro helped him put the blocks together, also with the design and planning. It was dangerous. Doro almost fell. Good thing Jiseok was able to grab onto him. And when they reached the clouds, a large bird grabbed Doro. It was a lot of work that they even have to sleep on the top, since they are way up high from the ground. All the while, Gran Turis stood on guard and fired at some winged monster. The tower was so high that you could barely see the top from the ground. Eventually, it has already reached outer space. Doro didn't notice that he was already working hard just to complete their task. And Jiseok was pleased. Little did they know, someone watched them and thought about their dream of going to the moon. This glowing creature wondered if Jiseok is an idiot. But it can't be denied that Jiseok is doing something interesting. The person behind this glowing creature doesn't want to disappoint, so it prepared a fun event. He thought of one thing that matches the moon. Few moments later, we see someone step forward. It was Jiseok and Doro. They both wore an astronaut suit. Jiseok made the first step on the moon. He blushed as he got overwhelmed by his achievement. Finally. Meanwhile, Doro was crying rivers of tears to reach their destination. His reaction was too wild. "We did it! We really came!" They looked at Earth. Doro finds it beautiful. Doro was happy. He expressed that he had never seen something like that in his whole life. He didn't expect it to be that beautiful. He thanked Jiseok for showing him that. Jiseok felt shy. Their rest ended since they will still dig for moon materials. But suddenly, there was a loud laughter. A buff bunny with crazed eyes appeared and assumed that those blue planet bastards came there to die. This is the moonlit night blood-crazed rabbit with a danger level SS. The rabbit told them that it will be their grave. Before the rabbit could say anything, Jiseok already punched it with Mecha Punch. Doro uttered, "You surprised me, man." Jiseok didn't hear him, so he asked what he said. Doro replied that it was nothing. The rabbit vowed not to let them leave alive. Doro teased it by saying, "But I am alive, though." Our MC also praised its sturdiness. It lost its tooth and was bleeding. It shrieked loudly. It was too loud. Doro stated that they're in trouble. They felt the ground shake. Jiseok asked if it was an earthquake. Doro speculated that the rabbit is calling its comrades. Several rabbits appeared from the ground. His gym buddies came to the rescue. They all surrounded Jiseok and Doro. There were so many that Doro thinks it's already hopeless. But our MC still continued to attack, because they didn't come prepared for such a large-scale battle. He thought it was the end, but he noticed that the rabbits were only attacking the human, and not him. Doro took this chance to go back to his planet, but then he saw Earth, and it made him realize something. He noticed more rabbits were charging. He recalled the pleasant memory with Jiseok as they gazed upon the beautiful planet, and how grateful he was because he got the chance to see something like that. Doro watched Earth intensely. Meanwhile, Jiseok was slightly in panic since there are really a lot of them. He wished there was a brief opening. A rabbit was about to hit him, but before this rabbit could reach him, it got injured. Doro made a hole in its torso. Jiseok was surprised that Doro can still fight. Doro replied that he was hiding it. Jiseok thought he was running away. Doro told him that as thanks for showing something beautiful. He will fight and die together with Jiseok so Jiseok won't be lonely. Jiseok replied with a smile, "Not bad." While these gym addict rabbits got more insane. The rabbits crowed over Jiseok. Doro was trembling as he crouched, but he was surprised. Jiseok expressed that he likes Doro. He told him that he passed the romance. They flew in the sky with their power moon suits. It is made of 17 moon pig, 5 moon dust, and 14 moon iron ore. Jiseok told him why they would die if they returned alive. Then, the suit revealed its wings. The wings are composed of weapons. Jiseok told those rabbits to become materials, and started blasting the shit out of them all at once. A few moments later, Jiseok and Doro had a toast while watching Earth. They were relaxed. Jiseok sighed as he thought that it was really a difficult battle. Doro complained about Jiseok carving his name on the moon when fighting the rabbits was better than that. Our MC reasoned that since he's the first one to land on the moon, he needs to mark it as his. Doro continued to ask why a player like him plays the game like that. It was really unusual. Jiseok simply replied, "Oh, because it's fun." Doro doesn't get it. Jiseok told him that it's simply do it or don't. Suddenly, they saw purple mist from Earth. They were surprised. Jiseok asked what it was. Then, in just a blink of an eye, he saw that a part of Earth was in flames. Doro panicked. "Ah! Another world, our planet!" Jiseok told him to stay there as he went in to check. Doro was confused because he didn't have a way to get back. But Jiseok has already left. Just like that, he was gone. Doro wondered what it is to shatter the planet into pieces. Jiseok was angry at what kind of bastard did that. He rushed towards the culprit full speed. He was furious that someone laid a finger on the things that he made. He went faster and reaches the ground. A superhero landing, of course. Immediately, he searched for Granturus. He tried communicating with it, but he can't get a signal. Eventually, he found him. He asked what happened, but Granturus was already up in flames. The one who stood once as the ruler of the planet was reduced to pieces of metals. Its body was cut and burnt. The sight of it made Jiseok pale. Someone came and commented, "Boss, there's still someone alive over there?" Jiseok was puzzled. The person pointed at Jiseok's shovel as it was an unusual weapon. Jiseok watched them. They uttered that the weapon was funny, because Jiseok was holding a shovel. They called him a weirdo. The servant told his boss that it's weird for the boss to say that when the boss is actually holding a stick, and he's also just in his underwear and black cape. This person is Chrono Life's strongest user. His weapon is plus 99 reinforced wooden stick. He asked Jiseok who he was. I don't know if some of you guys are familiar with this manhwa, but this guy is also a protagonist, and crazily overpowered. Comment down below if you guys want me to cover the whole manhwa of plus 99 reinforced wooden stick. Back to the recap. Jiseok was in rage. He asked back who that person was. Jiu noticed that Jiseok is really angry and suggested that if he has any complaints, they should duel. Protagonist versus a protagonist. Now that's new. One with a freaking shovel and one with a stick. Who do you guys think will win? The tiny dragon insulted our MC for not recognizing the owner of the plus 99 reinforced stick. They teased him for being a noob. Jiseok told him to shut up. He wondered if Granturus managed to win. He recalled the memories with him, and all the effort he made in the tower to the moon. And just like that, it was smashed. He cursed at the perverted freak who's just wearing underwear. Jiseok was fired up when he asked this pervert if he's ready. The small creature with Jiu laughed at Jiu. Jiu stated that he has a long way to go, but he charged forward and told Jiseok that if he climbs up, he should expect to be hit. Jiu was in full speed and about to smack Jiseok. His attack was powerful since it created ripple on the ground and shattered a large area. But Jiseok was able to evade it because of his suit. It was so close. Jiseok's left foot got damaged, so the booster output was disabled. Jiu realized that Jiseok was quick. Jiseok revealed his wings of armor and shouted, "Take this!" and fired away everything at the same time. Jiu just laughed it off. He assumed a combat stance and his muscles bulged. He was curious if Jiseok would show him more of what he got. Jiu used an uppercut. Jiseok had to use emergency escape. The force has overwhelmed all the attacks that he just launched. Luckily, he got out on time. The suit that was hit was turned to ashes. Jiseok used summon and something from the ground appeared. It's the King Castle, the large mech that Jiseok built and used to defeat Granturus. It was already about to punch the shit out of Jiu. This guy was surprised. Jiseok used Castle Rush, and a barrage of punches landed on the ground. The battle scene was chaotic. From the moon, Doro could see the large explosions. It made him worry about Jiseok. A few minutes passed, and dust finally settled. Jiseok couldn't believe that Jiu stopped the attack with just a stick. Jiu stood strongly and confidently. This guy didn't even have a scratch on him. Jiseok couldn't fathom that he blocked it with a stick. Jiu said that it's his turn now. This other protagonist runs forward. He was up in the sky higher than the mecha's head. Jiseok cursed. Damn it! Jiu used downward strike and blasted King Castle from the top, but after doing his attack, he was surprised. He saw something. The shovel touched an item. Apparently, Jiseok released hundreds, thousands of blocks. Eventually, he summoned 1 million blocks. It was all lined up. It served as a barrier. Jiseok cursed and wondered who that guy was. Meanwhile, Jiu was amused. Then he stated that it's time to finish it. He pierced through the barrier. Jiseok was caught off guard. Jiu looked excited to end it. Jiseok was extremely angry. They both gripped their weapons. The tip of the shovel touched the end of the stick. Just the tip. And it created a huge explosion, like the earth was cut in half. The explosion even reached outer space. Debris flew in outer space. The earth was really indeed sliced in half. The mini-creature suddenly got excited. It uttered that Jiu really went and smashed another world. Jiu started to make sure to build it better next time. but he noticed something. The shovel glowed. Ji-woo was puzzled as to why Jisuk is still alive. Jisuk was in rage despite his rough appearance. He challenged the pervert bastard to come at him, but eventually he lost consciousness. Ursus stated that the shovel looked suspicious. Ji-woo agreed. He didn't expect Jiseok to carry that as a weapon. It made him curious as to who Jiseok is, but his thoughts were cut off as a crack in space suddenly appeared. Ji-woo asked, "Who are you?" An old pixelated man with a cigar in his mouth appeared. The old man replied, "It's me, you damned brat! It's Chrono Life CEO, Choi Deokbae." And a sexy, unnamed woman was with him. Deokbae complained that Ji-woo smashed up the tower again. Ji-woo was surprised to see this grandpa. He asked him what he's doing there. Deokbae returned the question to him. The woman approaches the user, Jiseok. She tried to wake him up. Ji-woo blushed and whispered at Deokbae. He asked him if the woman is really his granddaughter because she's really pretty. Deokbae replied, "No." The woman called for Jiseok and told him that he got to show some more guts, and she revealed that she has been trying to make him strong. She expressed that she worked hard. With this kind of look and stare, you know this bitch is a little bit freaky. Smash. Period. But then it was finally revealed. This lady wanted Jiseok to become stronger because she loved being challenged on how she could kill him. This woman is another world lead developer, Yuria? Jiseok was confused. He was groggy, and he expressed that it hurts so much that he feels like he's dying. Then he fainted. Yuria saw it happen. "Oh my?" He fainted. Suddenly she kissed him. "I bet a lot of you are jealous right now. Subscribe and I will tell Truck-kun to kiss you guys good night." It looked romantic. Them kissing with the earth split in the background, and the beautiful galaxy could be seen in the gap. After an hour, a few seconds, she finished kissing him. With a bright smile on her face, she uttered, "Sleep tight, my dear user." After that, we see Doro waking up his master. He kept calling him while slapping his face. Suddenly, Jiseok got up and complained that it hurt. Then he felt his head throbbing. He noticed something. He remembered that the earth was split. It was a puzzle to him as to how it's still intact. Unexpectedly, Doro hugged him and expressed how worried he was. Jiseok was surprised, and he thanked Doro. Doro was embarrassed and told Jiseok not to misunderstand, that he's just worried about himself who almost became lost in space. Since Jiseok is with Doro, he clarified if he returned to the moon. Doro asked Jiseok how his body is feeling. Jiseok replied that he's fine, but it was a puzzle to him on why he's fine. He got hurt pretty badly fighting that pervert. Doro pinched Jiseok's cheeks. Jiseok told Doro that since he was unconscious, he had no idea what happened. He asked Doro to explain. So, Doro narrated that a while ago. The planet was split into two pieces. Someone told Doro to calm down. A bright golden light appeared, and Yuria emerged from it. "She's princess carrying Jiseok." Doro was surprised. Then he yelled for his master, which was kinda sus, because how the hell was this guy's tongue sticking out? I'll let you guys think of the reason why. Doro panicked. Yuria assured him that Jiseok is fine. Yuria shared that she casted a healing spell on him. She blushed as she admits that it's a very intense one. It made Doro wonder what she did. Doro asked if it was Yuria who did that to his master and the planet. The tiny dino knew her as the creator. Yuria was pleased that Doro recognized her. She told him that she wasn't the one who caused the commotion. Doro asked who. The creator told him that it's the 99-level wooden stick, that he came over from the Chrono Life main server. In another world, to protect new users, it blocked them from accessing the main server with a system barrier. But the 99-level wooden stick shattered it, and he traveled to the server. The creator informed Doro that the guy returned to his original world for now, and the place is peaceful again. But she admitted that the planet's peace will be threatened once again. Then, she told Doro to relay her message when Jiseok woke up, that she has high expectations from Jiseok. She used recover. The planet glowed. Doro's jaw dropped. The force of a whole planet becoming one again was felt even on the moon, as she connects the split world. Eventually, it ended. Doro was surprised. The planet is whole again. It merged back together like nothing happened, and when he looked around, the creator was no longer there. He searched for her, but it was quiet. With that, Doro relayed everything that happened. Jiseok thought about it. He admitted that he lost. He realized he was too arrogant. Being called the master of another world, he thought he was invincible. He felt bad that he failed to protect everything again. Doro stated that Ji-U was the strongest user, and the fact that Jiseok survived means that he fought well. Jiseok responded that he simply blocked with the shovel. Then he thought of something. It made him wonder how he was able to block with just a shovel. It was a puzzle to him on how it blocked the one that shattered another world. When he fought against the strongest weapon, he immediately asked Doro if he knew what the shovel was made of. Doro replied that he doesn't know about the materials, but he thinks some experts would know. Jiseok asked who. Doro replied that when it comes to materials, the best people are the dwarves. He shared that those guys live in a place called the Wide Mine. Jiseok inquired if the dwarves are good at crafting too. Doro replied yes. The dwarves can craft, mine, smith, etc. Basically, there's nothing that they can't do. Jiseok decided to go meet them at once. He asked Doro if he knew the location of the mine, but Doro doesn't know. Jiseok replied that it was fine. Jiseok said that they can just look for it from the sky. Multiple blocks started to form another thing again, and then they set off. Jiseok looked serious. He thought about the one who shattered his home, the 99 pervert, and the freaky woman that he saw. He engraved them in his memory. With a determined expression, he thought, "I will definitely pay you back." Meanwhile, at the Dark Plateau, the skeletons came charging at the adventurers. A knight easily cut those skeletons. It was Joachim. He's a hero class. He is at level 49. A woman punched the skeleton. She is named Peach Shield. Her class is a warrior, and she's at level 42. They find the monsters to be weak. Grace, a level 42 mage, was taking it easy. The level 41 thief, Foxter, was with her. Grace said that it's boring. Joachim replied that it's because the difficulty is set for new users. If the monsters are too strong, there won't be any influx of new players. It's just that they grew faster than the developers expected. Peach Shield commented that the game management is sloppy, especially that the server crashed earlier. Foxter finds it fun, that they could be the strongest in the server. Joachim asked Grace on what's wrong. She was looking at the sky. She pointed at something and asked what it was. They saw it gradually coming down. They speculated that it's an undiscovered monster. Joachim commented that to encounter them first is really unlucky for the guy. They aimed for it. Our first defeat achievement. They thought this was a boss monster. But what they were looking at is a chopper made of Grantaris's head. Jiseok asked Doro if he found the dwarves. Doro replied that they are in the home for skeletons. Doro couldn't believe they had that kind of vehicle. Jiseok insists that it's romance. He was glad that he recovered the skull head. Grantaris replied, "Kill me gently." Then Doro saw something that looked like users. Doro saw that the users were in the middle of a battle. Suddenly, they saw the bright light. It was aimed at Jiseok. They were surprised. Grantaris was hit. The users were glad that they hit it. They kept firing. Then, Peach Shield gave her all. She threw her shield and shouted the name of her skill, which was Rolling Thunder, but it got deflected. What a lame attack. Same with the others. Jiseok commented that they're really weak. Doro assumed that those are beginners. Jiseok saw that having fought the 99th pervert, the contrast was huge. Doro asked if they should go easy on them. Jiseok replied that they can't do that, especially when they were the first ones to hit them. He stated that they have to settle the score. He called Grantaris and ordered him to blow up the guys down there. Grantaris positioned his mouth with a cannon. Then the cannon lit up. The users were shocked. The mecha beam was released and blew up the shit out of the users. Joachim couldn't believe it. They were obliterated. This guy luckily was not hit from the initial attack, but all he could do was scream. Joachim asked what it was. At this point, he's in a position where he could not even move or try to escape. Doro trembled because he knew that the mecha would continue. Apparently, this attack will not stop until the opponent is defeated, and there it goes, it fires rapidly, and destroyed everything. It was a sea of flames down there. It was like using multiple nuclear bombs onto the same area. It was brutal, brutally satisfying. Then, after that, Gran Turis landed. Joachim was down on the ground. A Dragon Ball reference, huh? Joachim just became Yamcha. Doro asked Jiseok if he wanted to revive the skeletons and ask them for directions. Jiseok thinks that it's a good idea. He decided to try it. He touched the skeleton using his shovel. The skeleton became materials. Jiseok unlocked the ability called Bone Maker. The condition to unlock is to avenge the skeletons. And depending on the Bone Maker combination, a powerful skeleton will be born. They were impressed. All the materials Jiseok needed were just lying around, so he decided to give it a try. Doro can't help but feel uneasy about it. Eventually, they were all done. Jiseok crafted different kinds of bone creatures. A normal Skeldog race appeared. Its danger is ranked D, and it's very curious and likes to be held. Jiseok finds it cute. He named it Bone Mutt. It was a funny scene when, obviously, in the background were tons of skeletons with different shapes and forms, crafted by Jiseok. Doro even finds everything weird. He scolded Jiseok for messing around and told him to do it properly. Jiseok argues that it's fun. Suddenly, there was a special event. He was tasked to create 100 unique skeletons to guarantee the birth of a rare grade. Jiseok was impressed. He told Doro that it's exactly what he plans. He pressed craft, and the button shone brightly. It was like hitting a freaking jackpot. Several parts of skeletons appeared. They were shocked at what they saw. It created a badass skeleton. The skeleton used formal language to greet its master. The race of this skeleton is Lich King ability. Its danger is SSS, and it is the king of the legendary undead. Wait, this guy looked familiar? He's literally All Might. The skeleton kneeled and politely requested to be granted a name. Doro was surprised to see a Lich King. Doro told his master not to take it. He explained that the Lich King is the most cunning evil monster in another world, and it is not once to ever obey orders. Jiseok made his decision and named it Beogodeok. Jiseok told Doro that he listens well. Jiseok asked Beogodeok if he knew where the Wide Mine was. Beogodeok replied, yes. Doro was surprised. Jiseok ordered Beogodeok to guide them there at once. Beogodeok acknowledges the order, but the hand on his back holds a dagger. A little while ago, it was peaceful. The animals were relaxed. Then the shovel and the stick touched each other and created a large explosion and cut the planet in half. A beam appeared, and Yuria used recover. The people were affected, and they fell as they lost balance. The users were surprised. Even the monsters were affected. They knew something happened. Some were thrown in the sea. Others were in agony. And there are also some who were just chilling on their throne. There were several people who aimed for the position of another world's master, and even them. One person stated that the new master is a flashy one. They all witnessed the letters carved on the moon, and it came to be known as the King's Arrival Day. Some skeletons gained wings and they looked funny as they enjoyed their flight. One skeleton even posed as Superman while in air. Meanwhile, Jiseok is off to the vast mine. But before that, Jiseok turned to Beogodeok. Beogodeok immediately hid the dagger. Jiseok warned him not to think about hiding it anymore. Beogodeok tried to play dumb. Jiseok confirmed with him if he's not thinking of leaving just like that. Jiseok stated that there's still work left to do. He was fired up when he asked where they should start. Beogodeok asked what he's talking about. They met each other's gaze. Beogodeok told him that safety is important. He wore a reflective vest, a helmet, and had a pickaxe. Jiseok told the skeleton that they will build a safe living space, and the goal is a fortress-like tower. He told them to load it up with weapons so no one can even approach them, and they must ensure their own protection. Safety is their top priority. The skeletons were fired up. Babaguduk was dumbfounded as he realized that the mightiest Lich King suddenly was involved in construction. These fuckers even took a selfie while the defense tower was being built. It was funny, because I can imagine old men doing this kind of pose. Few hours later, in that dark, gloomy place, Bogudeok took out his dagger. He was about to slash the ribbon during the opening ceremony. They have completed the Oduk Tower. What the fuck? They even had a ribbon-cutting event. It was a tall, bright building. Jisok acknowledged everyone's efforts. Jisok wanted to do the final safety test. Doro declined that. But he eventually did it. His role is to be an intruder. The tower released explosives, and Doro ran for his life. When it was done, Jisok announced that it passed the test. With that, he can leave with a little peace of mind. He told the skeletons that if an overwhelming enemy appears, they should give the laser signal and run away, and Jisuk will come to their aid right away. He told Bonamut to take good care of the house. They were ready to set off for Wide Mine. They rode a tricycle with Baogudiok as the driver. He waved goodbye at the skeletons. They rode until sunset. Doro asked Jisiok if he's not taking Granturis. Jisiok replied that Granturis is slow and frustrating. Baogudiok suggested that they spent too much time in the Oduk Great Plains. Doro agrees, and emphasized that it wasn't even their destination. Jisiok replied that they had fun, so it was enough reason. He was happy to make a lot of companions, too. Baogudiok wished for him to enjoy the journey, too. Jisiok wanted that, too. The nighttime came, and they set up a camp. They grilled meat and fish for dinner. Then, when morning came, they walked along the lake. Eventually, they reached a tunnel. The entrance of the tunnel had the pickaxe sign. Jisiok commented that it's the place that they wanted, the Wide Mine. He asked where the dwarves were. Baogudiok recalled from his past life memories that the news of the dwarves in the mine has been cut off for a while now. Jisiok was surprised to hear that. Baogudiok stated that one day the dwarves stopped coming out of the mine. Among those who went into the mine to find out what happened, no one returned. Doro shed tears as he complained as to why Baogudiok only shared that now. Baogudiok replied that it was because they didn't ask. Doro suggested going back for now. Jisok reasoned that they had already come all the way. Little did they know, silhouettes of the dwarves taking aim at them could already be seen. Suddenly, they were attacked. Doro reacted fast and deflected it with a kick. Baogudiok was quick to stop the arrow, too. The attackers were surprised. Jisiok asked what the problem was. Baogudiok devilishly. Jisiok told them not to kill the attackers. Baogudiok bonked those attackers. Jisiok saw that the attackers were dwarves. It made Jisiok ask if dwarves are a dangerous race. Doro replies no and admits that he finds it strange too. Jisiok slapped one dwarf to wake him up and inquire as to why they attacked. The dwarf was scared and told Jisiok to hurry up and run away. Jisiok asked what he's talking about. The dwarf explained that the dwarves in there had lost their mind and became ferocious, and anyone who enters the mine will be killed. Then, suddenly, the dwarves surrounded Jisiok. They were all over the place. Jisiok inquired as to how the old man dwarf regained his senses. The dwarf replied that it happened after he received a strong shock from something. Jisiok grinned and told them that there's an easy way. Physical therapy. He challenged the dwarves to come forward. The dwarves looked ferocious. They charged all at once. Jisiok and the rest did the same too. Baogudiok's hand glowed. Boy, oh boy, he sure was excited. He released a magic missile. The dwarves were hit. Meanwhile, our little Dino Doro jumped from one dwarf to another and bit them. And Jisiok unleashed the robot punch. Jisiok noticed that Doro fights well. He told them not to let their guard down. But little did he know, one dwarf was about to hit him. He saw a dwarf sneaking up on him and punched it. But Baogudiok beat him to it. Jisiok was surprised. He left saying that he could have done it alone. Baogudiok teased him. Heh, I'm sure you could have. Seeing all the chaos, one dwarf told them to stop, because if they make a fuss, a monster will wake up. As if on cue, the monster appeared. It growled loudly. Jiseok asked what that creature was. Jiseok had gotten serious. The monster had 3 eyes, 2 horns on the head, and 3 jaws. It's called a zombie dragon. It is resurrected by a curse. It is classified as an SSS-class boss monster, a vengeful patchwork. It resurrected as undead, so it had no reason or intellect. It has become an existence that lives only for revenge. It attacked Jiseok. He wondered as to why it's only targeting him. Deep inside, Doro was relieved that it wasn't him. Jiseok ran. His shovel glowed. He summoned Grantaris. Grantaris's head appeared, scaring the monster. Grantaris growled loudly. The zombie dragon shrieked. Doro cheered for Grantaris. Grantaris stood face to face with the zombie dragon, but its size was a little bit questionable. Yes, sure, the head was larger, but he was so freaking short. But then, it slowly flew upward. It was so slow. The zombie dragon smacked away Grantaris's propeller blade. Then the zombie dragon grabbed Grantaris. He told the zombie dragon to let go because it's making him dizzy. Doro panicked upon seeing that Grantaris can't move. He pressured Jiseok to make a torso. Jiseok asked how he can make something that doesn't even exist. Jiseok realized something, that he can actually make it. Something glowed brightly. The zombie dragon was confused. It made a loud noise. Its huge jaw dropped. The system showed Bone Maker Legendary Rare. Skull Grantaris appeared. Its level is GOAT, and unlike the previous one, this guy had a proper body now. The zombie dragon growled loudly. He knew he's fucked. Grantaris bonked its head and made it stop. Then Grantaris hit it with his tail. The zombie dragon released a liquid which Grantaris deflected. Jiseok ordered Grantaris to finish it. Grantaris made a fireball in his mouth and unleashed it. The attack is called Skull Mecha Paw. The beam engulfs the zombie dragon. It was a powerful attack that wrecked the area. The light illuminated the whole place. Doro, Beogudiok, and the dwarves watched intensely. Jiseok had a smile on his face. The attack even reached the sky. Someone from a cliff in the distance saw it. A woman stated that the people inside took care of the matter. She asked her master what they should do. The master repeated that same question while he crumpled a paper. Then he simply stated that the contract is void and threw the paper away. That man is a lone shark named Heart Heater, and the woman is Rim, his assistant. Heart Heater told his assistant to call the idiot. Black smoke was left after Grantaris's attack. All of the dwarves cheered for Grantaris, who was now standing tall right in the middle of the mine. As for the zombie dragon, only one large eye was left. The dwarves couldn't believe that they were ruled by something like that. It was humiliating for them. Jiseok asked Doro if he found anything. Doro replied no. He finds it strange because there shouldn't be any monster that he doesn't know about, and it's his first time seeing that thing. The dwarf shared that it suddenly showed up in the mine one day. The minekeeper, Mr. Kim, thanked Jiseok for saving them. They introduced themselves. Jiseok had a question for the dwarf. He asked Mr. Kim what the shovel was made of. Mr. Kim was surprised. He felt the texture and the curves. Jiseok anticipated his answer. Then Mr. Kim said that he absolutely had no idea. He was fascinated that there's an ore that he doesn't know about. Then he said goodbye. They walked away with the shovel. Jiseok was annoyed and yelled at him to give it back. He grabbed the dwarf's beard. Eventually, they watched Jiseok build something. Jiseok was demonstrating what the shovel can do. He just created a fountain in the replica of the zombie dragon. Then he asked the dwarves if any of them knew what the ore of the shovel was. The dwarfs were impressed. Mr. Kim wanted to have the shovel. Jiseok couldn't believe that even the dwarves don't know about it. Beogudiok inquired on what Jiseok plans to do now. He asked Beogudiok what is the best place to get info on that world. Beogudiok replied that it would be the Square of Beginning, since it's the place where users start the game. Our MC became more puzzled, and that was because when he arrived inside the game, it was in the middle of freaking nowhere. Meanwhile, at the real Square of Beginnings, someone asked Rim if the idiot had arrived yet. That was Heart Heater. Rim replied that she heard that the person will come after he had completed the quests. Heart Heater commented that the guys still do whatever he wants. They noticed a commotion. It was an illustration of Granturus' head. It was Joachim with his party. They were telling the people that the monster was really strong. Joachim announced that if they leave it be, it will devastate another world. They encouraged the crowd to fight with them. The crowd was surprised that Joachim's party was asking for help. It made them think that the monster was that strong. Heart Heater commented that everyone's full of energy. Then, he noticed something. Joachim was asked by someone if he's certain of it. The guy commented that it sounded fun. They marched forward. The crowd was surprised to see these knights. They saw the emblem on the armor and identified that those are royal guards. It's called the Sacred Guild. Then another set of knights marched in. They wore red cloaks with white crosses. It's the elite group of 10, the strongest paladins called Crossline Guild. Then, several witches appeared all lined up. They are the Royal Magic Corps, Holy Land Guild. Then there's some group who wore a face mask. They are the Thieves Guild called Righteous Outlaws Guild. Then there's a knight in nude and silver armor. They were positioned well to welcome the guy that will pass through. They are the strongest guild named Justice Guild. A mysterious woman started talking. The 5 guilds have gathered. That meeting is the World Guild Alliance Another World branch. And a sexy woman in skimpy clothing is the leader. She is the commander of the World Guild, Miss Hawk. While flaunting her figure, she asked where the monster was. And then, she declared that she will lead them to victory. Meanwhile, at the cave, Doro asked Jiseok if he's logging out. Jiseok replied yes. He planned to take a little break, and as soon as he returns, they will depart to the Square of Beginnings. Jiseok was surprised that Mr. Kim would be guiding them. He asked if it's okay that he'll be stepping away. Mr. Kim replied that he couldn't go out that much because of the monster, and he was eager to drink and party. Jiseok asked him about the content of his bag. He replied that it's diamondium ore, and he plans to sell it at the square. Then he told Jiseok that he will give them all the money from that deal. Jiseok asked why. Mr. Kim replied that it's their token of thanks for saving them. Jiseok expressed that he'll gratefully accept it. Jiseok told them that he will see them later. Then he logged out. They waved at him. The dwarves thanked him again for saving them. They wished for him to come back safely. And after a few moments, Jiseok was notified that he had logged out from the game. The player of Jiseok wore the VR headset while in bed. He removed it. That was when reality kicks in. His house is a very tiny room. He got up annoyed. He felt that every time he comes back, reality hits hard. His stomach was growling. He felt hungry. All he had was instant food. He ate that while watching on his phone. About the news on Chrono Life Another World. It was reported that a rate material shortage has been making the headlines recently. He commented that the views are skyrocketing. Then he was surprised when the rare material mentioned is the diamondium. Diamondium hasn't been seen on the market for the past month. Merchant Riot has set the price at 10 times the previous rate. He knew it was what the old man was going to sell. He realized that it was expensive. The price of it was about to be reported, and it was freaking 100 million won per kilogram. That was around 71,000 USD. What the fuck? He accidentally spat out his food from the shock. He couldn't believe it. It was truly expensive, 100 million won per kilogram. Meanwhile, in an unknown hideout, Rim panicked that the person she's waiting for isn't coming. Heart Heater told her to calm down and offered her tea. She's worried since the person was way too late. She's worried that the person won't show up. The Heart Heater assured her that he would come. He knew that the person would rather die than lose because he's the world's #1 idiot. Heart Heater noticed something. He commented how he'll never be a gentleman. At the market, someone is connecting to another world. The person slowly appears. This person wore golden armor. The system ranked him as #1. This person wore a headdress with a red gem at the center. He grinned. The system notified that the hardcore leveling warrior had entered. The guy had flames swirling around him as he announced that he's back. Few hours later, back at that house, Heart Heater greeted someone. It's the hardcore leveling warrior. The guy asked how Heart Heater was doing. Hardcore leveling warrior teased him, saying that Heart Heater, the zombie dragon, died. Hardcore leveling warrior expressed that it's too bad, since he wanted to get rid of that bastard himself. Heart Heater was saying something, but Hardcore leveling warrior was distracted with Rim, who was pouring him tea. Hardcore leveling warrior bonked Rim. The Heart Heater told him that he heard the guy had taken over the mine. He told Hardcore leveling warrior to listen. Hardcore leveling warrior insists that he's listening. He asked if they should eliminate the guy that Heart Heater was talking about. He took a sip of tea, and exaggeratingly fell just because the tea was too hot. Heart Heater told him that they got a new request. The document landed on Hardcore leveling warrior's face. Heart Heater told him about the guy who occupied the wide mine and the dark plateau, and ordered Hardcore leveling warrior to find that guy. The document has a picture of the guy. It was Jiseok, at the wide mine. Doro noticed something. Jiseok had returned. They wondered, "Oing? Back already?" And without even a greeting, our MC told them that they will depart. To the Plaza of Beginnings. Mr. Kim was surprised that Jiseok was back already. He was planning to take a nap. Jiseok asked them if that's all they had to say. Jiseok asked the Gramps if the Diamondium is okay. Mr. Kim told him that it's in the bag. Jiseok made everyone move in a hurry. Doro asked why he's rushing. Few moments later, someone asked a question. It's Beogudeok. He inquired if it's all right that he guards the mine. Jiseok told him that he's the right person for it. Because the place is important, a smart and strong guy has to guard it. Beogudeok expressed that he's flattered with the praise. Beogudeok whispered in Jiseok's ear about the market price going up by a lot. This Lich King apparently knew what was going on. Jiseok was surprised that Beogudeok knew. Beogudeok replied that since the wide mine is close to the dark plateau, he knew that Diamondium is precious. Jiseok assumes that Beogudeok already understands that Jiseok wants to move it safely. Beogudeok concludes that security is important. Jiseok asked if there were any better means of transport. They looked at Grantaris, who was in front of them. They set off using Grantaris's skull. They were comfortable inside. Actually, it's sort of like a living room. Jiseok expressed that his worry was useless because all he had to do was to detach the head again. He stated that Grantaris's was fast because it has wheels. He asked Grantaris if he liked it too. Grantaris asked for his body back, though. Then, an arrow was released. It was heading towards our MC's direction. It directly hit Grantaris. They were all surprised and shaken inside. The arrow was released by Miss Hawk. She teased them that she caught them. And now, Jiseok was surrounded in a wide-open place. She had freaking bombs tied to an arrow and then asked, "Then, shall we begin?" Then she declared an all-out attack. The bombs on the arrow explodes like fireworks. And the knights saw the signal. One person expressed that he's looking forward to it. They claimed that their alliance is better than the original, and they were determined to prove it. That person was Sacred Guild Another World Branch, Master Seiya. Another person commented that the monster was funny-looking. She was determined to take the eyeball. This person is Another World Branch Master Su Yang. A lot of witches flew in the sky. Someone told them that they need to prepare for enemies from the sky. The man replied that their efforts are being wasted. This person is Holy Land Guild, Another World Branch Master named Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. The one with the mask was silent. He is the Hualbindang Guild, Another World Branch Master, Kyun. Miss Hawk ordered the troops to defend their positions well. Then she jumped down the cliff. The others followed behind. The World Guild Alliance surrounded Grantaris. Our boy was about to get banged by the strongest players on this server. Jiseok asked who those bastards were. He was in rage because of that surprise attack. He fired a mecha beam. Grantaris opened its mouth and the beam was formed. Miss Hawk expected that, so he ordered to activate Plan A. The fire beam was released. The knights started running away. Jiseok was surprised that they had dodged that. Then those humans counterattacked. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo confirmed that not all the information shared was false. Joachim charged forward. He shouted at the top of his lungs, "Monster bastard!" He was determined to slash the monster, all for revenge. He claimed that no matter how strong the monster is, it wouldn't be able to handle the forces. But Joachim noticed something. It was a silhouette in the window or in Granturus's eyes. Jisuk plastered his face on the window. This right here is the true monster that they were about to face. Then Jisuk opened that glass. It smashed at Joachim. The World Alliance was surprised. They didn't expect a user. Jisuk was enraged and called them thieves. He kicked at something. Granturus revealed a long foot coming in front of the skull. Jisuk announced that the diamondium is off limits. He released Jet Kick, and he rapidly stomped on those knights using his mecha foot. "Luffy, is that you?" The attackers were confused about what the guy said. Kian replied that it doesn't matter. Since they already attacked each other, reasons no longer matter. The leaders realized that he's right, so they deemed Jiseok their enemy. Jiseok was surprised. Those leaders planned to attack him simultaneously. They all charged their most powerful skill. Jiseok glared at them. Someone used a one-sword style, and in a blink of an eye slashed several knights all at once. Then it was followed by Moonlight Flash. It was Hardcore Leveling Warrior. "Jiseok? Doro?" Mr. Kim's eyes widened in surprise. Hardcore Leveling Warrior stood a foot away from Jiseok. He asked if Jiseok was the shovel, the one who took the mine. Jiseok asked what if he was. Hardcore Leveling Warrior tapped at the shovel using his sword and called Jiseok a customer, and he offered his service to safely escort Jiseok. If you guys didn't know yet, Hardcore Leveling Warrior is also the MC of his own manhwa. Apparently, these 3 stories, including plus 99 reinforced wooden stick, are in the same universe.